October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we have focused a lot on the emotional side of breast cancer. Our next guest wants to talk about the money side of the disease this morning. It is so nice to welcome Fritz MarCia here, talking about his new book that comes out in December called the S.A.F.E Money Method. Nice to see you this morning.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Before we begin talking about the book, though, if you don't mind, I want to talk about what prompted you to write it. Here you are with a smile on your face, but you've had to see breast cancer up close and personal, not once but twice.
I have firsthand experience of this horrible disease because my first wife and my sister both died of breast cancer. So I'm on a mission to let people know how to prevent the financial devastation of breast cancer.
Okay, what you've done in your book, though, is you don't make it breast cancer specific. This method can be applied to anybody in their life for any kind of unforeseen disaster that may hit. Is that right?
You use the principles of the S.A.F.E Money Method and you can apply it for most of the financial situations in your life.
Okay.
And one of the reasons that it works so well for breast cancer is because it will keep you safe. There are 3 mistakes to avoid to prevent the financial devastation of breast cancer.
Well, let's get to it. I know you don't want to give the book away totally, but can you give us a snippet? What are the 3?
The first mistake is being financially unprepared and blindsided. It's very, very important to have at least 3 to 6 months of cash on hand to cover any medical emergencies. You'd be amazed how many people don't even have a savings account these days. My sister Kathleen, who had breast cancer, was totally unprepared financially for breast cancer. Her job had no benefits, she had no health insurance, she had very little savings. I believe the money worries that she had, got her to an early death.
Okay, what's the second one to consider?
The second mistake to avoid is not having the proper insurance or enough insurance. You know, with Obamacare, it's very easy now to get health insurance. The problem is a lot of people are opting not to get the health insurance and are paying the penalty instead. It's very, very important to have good medical insurance. And there's another kind of insurance that really helps. It's called cash cancer insurance.
Cash cancer?
Yes. And the way that works, I'll give you an example. I have a client, Julie. She had breast cancer in her family. She bought a $50,000 cash cancer policy. It was less than $50 a month. A year later, she got breast cancer. She got a check from the insurance company for $50,000. That paid all of her bills.
Wow.
There's things that people can do not only to cover the medical, but also to provide cash, because it's very difficult to recover from this horrible disease if you have to worry about bill collectors.
And the thing is that you're going to have to miss some of your work while you are recovering, and there's a good chance your employer can't pay you while you are taking time away.
That's why you have to have emergency cash and a policy that will provide for you so you can focus on healing. Okay. It's very hard to heal when you've got bill collectors haranguing you. The third major mistake to avoid, and a lot of people are too embarrassed to do this, is not getting a good financial advisor. If you or someone in your family gets cancer, immediately seek professional counsel and advice.
Okay.
Don't be embarrassed, don't be proud. It's very important that you work with that advisor so they can contact the creditors and your bank so you don't have to face foreclosure or bill collectors hounding you.
And I know that we live in volatile times still economically, but do you find in your research that most financial institutions are willing to work with you to a degree when a catastrophe hits like this?
If you work with them in advance.
Yes.
What people do, you know how they are, they wait till the last minute while there's court documents on the way. Right away you have to go to the bank with your advisor and have them negotiate that mortgage right there, because they'll appreciate that if you tell them that in advance, not go to them at the last minute.
Let's talk about you as the caretaker then for someone. Very often women are facing this disease sadly on their own, but in your case as the husband and the brother, you too probably had to lose some work time. So ought you to have the savings put aside for both you and your spouse, not just one of you?
Yes. You want to make sure you have both your insurance coverage and you want to make sure that you have your money set aside or a policy that will provide the money. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask you real quickly, why do you find that we tend to always kick this can down the road? We tend to always think, oh, it's not going to happen to us, it'll happen to somebody else.
It's human nature. People think it won't happen to them. My wife was only 32 years old when she was diagnosed with breast cancer. My sister was only 42 years old. Thousands of young women are diagnosed with breast cancer and they don't have any financial plan to handle it.
Well, this book can help. It does not come out until December, but go ahead and you can put it on your Christmas list if you want. It is called The Safe Money Method. Fritz MarCia, I hope you don't lose your smile.
Well, keep yourself safe and your money safe.
It is so nice to see you this morning. We are back with more right after this.